Today we're going to talk about the Kriegsmarine, the naval development. I've done some examination of submarines and I've organized my fleets off camera. So I'm gonna show the setup that I've chosen. I am not a man-the-gun DLC expansion specialist by any means, but I have played a little bit with it, so I just had to refresh my memory since it's a long time since I did it. So this is the way I set it up. Uh, Five different, they're called theaters, but maybe it's better to call fleets or purpose groups. Anyway, I have a small submarine fleet that I call Flotte Balticum, or the Baltic coastal submarines. The game gave me 20 coastal submarines from start before the campaign started. I guess that's historical, and I also think it's a what's it called? Vanilla game leftover. So anyway, they are sorted in three different squadrons of six small submarines each. For some reason, they have very low organization. I guess they've been on training or repair or something. And then I put two in reserve because that is something I am not entirely familiar with. You have to enable. Uh, where is it? Yeah, enable automatic reinforcement from your reserve fleet. So my hope is that if any of these 18 submarines gets damaged, they're gonna go back to port, repair, and pick one of the two in reserve. So it's kind of an experiment to examine more closely how it works. In theory, that is how it is supposed to work. How does it play out in practice? Um, we'll see. But anyway, they are operating in the green sea zones here, the Baltic, two sea zones of the Baltic, and along the coast of Germany. Oh, that's only three. And why? Yeah, these are fjords and archipelagos. And I don't want to send them into shallow sea because submarines are not good in shallow sea. It's easier to engage, discover them. So let's start very carefully since I don't know how naval combat plays out in the mod, and I have a very vague idea how it plays out in the vanilla game as well. But later I might try to interrupt and raid convoys outside Norway. But for now we're staying in safe areas with this the coastal submarines. They're weak, they're old, they're not very strong submarines, so why lose them needlessly? Maybe I can catch a couple of Polish ships here, or I don't know, the UK is operating, maybe trading with Russia or Finland. I don't know. It's an experiment. The next group is my Atlantic submarines under Dönitz, my best submarine leader. Okay. It has a whooping 4 fully trained Class 7 submarines. That's it. That's all the Kriegsmarine has been doing up until October 39. They were caught unaware. They didn't have enough resources. That is kind of historical. They did not all have the preparedness for war that they had. They should have had. So I'm sending 4 submarines out to raid in the North Atlantic Ridge and the western approaches to the UK. Are those the most lucrative and highly trafficked areas of the Atlantic? No, probably not, but they're ocean, respectively deep ocean, so they're hard to find for any groups. So it's kind of a trial run for Dönitz. He doesn't know how to fight this war. He could send them to the North Sea or the Gulf of Biscay and probably find more shipping, but I'm afraid the 4 submarines is going to get sunk. I also marked them yellow, the sea zones around the UK. I don't want to transport fleets or be active in these areas if I cannot at all avoid it. Maybe I should even mark them red so I can't pass the English Channel because that's kind of suicidal, but I'm gonna go with yellow for now. Also, this allows me to kind of examine the range of my class 7A submarines is 3,300. That's the range, and that allows me to operate all the way out here in the Atlantic. That is good to know when I design the next generation of 1940 submarines in a future video. That how far do I want to operate? Can you tell if I want to operate all the way? Doesn't say how far it is out here, does it? Anyway, that's how deep it is. Yeah, I guess if I double the range, I could go all the way over here to the Bahamas and the American East Coast. So again, kind of an experiment, kind of a warm-up for the war. The Allies gonna have a heyday and not feel threatened at all in 1939. That is my bad, but I've focused on other stuff. So the submarine war and the naval aspect of this campaign is kind of taking a backseat to other development assets. The Kriegsmarine, it's also called the Hochseeflotte, the High Seas Fleet. They're just docked in is it Kiel? No, they're a bit behind in oh God. They're sitting in Rostock now. Maybe without air support, so we'll see if the UK chooses to bomb them, or will I? I enable these fleet alert priorities high, which means I hope I can get all the naval pop-ups I need to slowly get used to the system. So they're doing nothing at the moment, saving fuel, and most of them are training because I forgot to do that. I didn't have any fuel to train them. Then we have our training operations. It's green because these are green. I tried to split them up in fleets of 6, which might or might not be a good size for an amount of submarines to operate in an area or many areas. And as these guys are fully trained, I of course plan to transfer them over to Dönitz Atlantic submarines, because these are all 66 are fleet submarines. And then my last operation and fleet is a very small 6 destroyer mine laying fleet, and I'm gonna start with them trying to mine, what's it called, this region here. Oh wait, is that the southern Baltic, all of that? Oh yeah, it is. Oh, it goes all the way, no, Dutch, German, Denmark coast. Yeah, right. Yeah, Dutch, German, Denmark coast. I want to focus on putting out mines here outside the Danish and German coast to prevent any Allied landings around Bremen and Hamburg. Guess that makes sense. Um, my mine laying capabilities have not been increased at all since the start of the game, and as soon as some of these destroyers have been fully trained, I can transfer them over there. I'm just hoping the Royal Navy won't show up and kill them. We'll see about that, because my air cover of this area consists of 108 naval bombers, and that's not a great force. They are out here striking naval mission efficiency. Yeah, they're out here naval striking. Maybe they will get killed by British interceptors. It's an experiment. Can I find convoys? Can I find small fleets to harass out here in the North Sea? Maybe I should use the short-range bombers here instead. Yeah, let's do that. And the long-range flying boats are patrolling out there. Could they scout? No, they could port strike or they can naval strike. They can't specifically air bomb only convoys. There's no like convoy raiding option. There's only a naval strike order I can give them. So that's what they got. That's my naval air operations. Uh, I don't have any fighters available now because they're all busy in Poland and defending Germany, so I don't feel I can afford that. Another thing I've been examining, well, I can tell you about my production of ships. At the start of the game, I said that I was not going to build any surface ships. I was just gonna finish the destroyers that were and cruisers that were in the queue. But then the game popped up an event saying, "Do you want to build the two Gneisenau and Scharnhorst class small battleships?" Yeah, and I couldn't resist because battleships are cool. And then there was a decision: Do you want to build the two Bismarck class battleships? And I said yes. So basically, out of 18 dockyards, 12 have been busy building battleships for, I wouldn't say the majority, but let's say half of the pre-war game period. And they're still gonna be quite, they're all due in 40 and 41. Let's talk just a little bit. What's the use of these battleships? Yeah, very little. They can support in an eventual hypothetical invasion of Norway. They can definitely control the Baltic for any Soviet forces in the war against the Soviet Union. And maybe they can sort of defend the Denmark area. But I'll need more and better screens, I suppose. And then, of course, I have actually been quite busy building up. Uh, See, I have a total of 127 ships. That's nothing to brag about. But I actually built quite a few submarines. Like, I guess I built 62 Type 7B. I think I had these A versions from the start of the game. This is a weird version, Type 1A, two of them. Those are actually comparable to the Type 7A. The game gave me these two submarines. I had to Wikipedia this and see what the hell that is about. I don't even know where they're at. I think they were here, but now they're sent back to port to train. In any case, that's a weird little construction. But obviously, I have been building quite a few submarines pre-war, so once they are trained, once I got the operations in place, once I got the lay of the land, I can send these out into the Atlantic, and it's a decent starting 90 submarines. That's, I feel, is a decent starting submarine fleet after all, for not having focused anything basically on naval development. Oh, I'm lying. I have actually wasted a little bit of time in my focus tree development to pick, so to speak, some low hanging fruit with a couple of shipyards increases here. That said, I have not started developing submarine doctrines at all. 21 days, 28 days. This might be something I do a bit later in the war. For now, I have not developed anything but a bit of a shipbuilding capacity. Okay, so that about production pre-war. My production plans for the future is mainly submarines, but also a few more modern screens for those 4 battleships that come out. Maybe destroyers with mine-laying capabilities. Also, I will examine kind of an experiment if I can build some decent and cheap mine-laying submarines and maybe, I don't know, mine the English Channel, mine the British coast without any risk of me being sunk. Well, we'll see about that, what production capabilities allow. Then another factor is going to be naval doctrines. Yeah, there's a lot of them, and I have done none. But obviously, I'm gonna do some trade interdiction and some submarine doctrine. I don't think I'm going to waste any time in improving my surface naval battle capabilities with doctrines. Not, no, I don't feel I have resources research-wise to do that. So my surface fleet is going to be a very bad one, small one, but hopefully it's going to be better than the Soviet counterpart. So it's a very second-rate naval surface fleet capability I'm aiming at. That is something that's taking the back seat for other developments. You have to prioritize. Of course, I want to research all these UC um, doctrines, but there's a limit to everything you can do. I have the Let's talk about ship development. Finally, I have the submarine 40 hull under construction, under research. Sorry, and I have obviously I'm aiming to do the electrical torpedoes, but that's not an equipment I need to put on any submarines. But maybe yeah. So I have improved engines and I have most of I think I can do pretty decent second generation Type 9 I guess submarines. So there's going to be an entire video about 1940 advanced submarine development once I decided how to set those up. And obviously I need longer range so I can fight outside of these two areas here all the way down. But maybe I'll have a medium range submarine class that fights here, a short range that defends and scouts and clears this area, and a long range, maybe a cruise. There's a class of cruise submarines here. I don't know if the Type 9 long range submarine would be considered a cruise or a long range regular submarine. Let's see about that. They have a bit of different stats in different water ways. So more submarine ship development coming up in a future video. I think that pretty much sums up my naval development, which has been very little to say up until the outbreak of the war. I haven't seen any Polish ships at all, and I'm basically just doing training and not trying to do any early combat here. I'm afraid of the UK Navy suiciding into the Baltic, so just let's save ships. Any comments? Put it below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.